Hi, my name is Hananya.
Hello there, my name is Shameem.
And my name is Leslie. We're three international friends on a mission to write and publish our first novels. We are the three writing amigas.
I just want to say that it was so brilliant to hear you, Leslie, say the word shit, because you don't swear, right?
It's so funny that you say that, because I've gone through different periods in my life where the mouth of the sailor, or as my family, we have this, I had this aunt, she's, passed a long time now, but she was a blues singer, right? Her name was Billy Poole. And, she really had the mouth of a sailor. And so when people would say like something, a swear word, we'd say, oh, that's a Billy word. So I've had my moments throughout my life, but when I married my husband and my stepkids were, younger, I just started to really try to be an example and not, use those words. So now it's more they slip out, but don't think for one moment that I can't.
That you don't swear.
One, if you can't, not you,
Mm.
but it's in there.
Good.
Fair.
She was like, she feels so much better about me now.
Yes.
Especially because I'm dropping them all over the place, and I think
That's fine.
But once I get started, sometimes it's hard for me to stop. So I try not, I try not to. Especially now when we go see my mom. Look, I've got my Paris t-shirt on,
Okay, nice.
just to get me in the mood.
Right.
Yeah, I have to remember to be respectful,
I get that.
to her delicate ears and all.
I have to do the opposite with my mother. If we're going somewhere, or I don't know, we're having a gathering and there's some sensitive ears coming, I have to tell her to sort of, rein it in a bit, because
Oh, you tell your mom too.
yeah,
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
she makes me.
Hananya's got the sassy mom. What's she like?
The sassy mom.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know. We don't swear like a lot. But I don't know.
What were you gonna? I cut you off, Shameem. What were you gonna say?
I don't know what I was gonna say.
Lost it.
Yeah, I
I'm not the
forgot.
only one. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. It was something along the lines of, it's got nothing to do. You know how sometimes people say that when you swear a lot, it's because you haven't got a good vocabulary, and I dispel that as a myth, because I have a good vocabulary and I still swear like a navvy. So
There's new new report. What do we call it?
Research?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Research.
This should be your favorite word, Leslie. Like, I don't know why you, of all people, forgot the word research.
I know. My name should be like Leslie Research Farrell.
I know.
Maybe I'll add the initial.
Sorry.
No, not at all. You kidding me? I love it. There's new research saying the opposite now.
yes,
I mean,
I think I
really
read
new.
that, by the way. I think that's what gave me confidence to say it.
There you go.
Yes.
So I just
So.
want to say, obviously I was, editing, an episode and everything. And I think it was maybe Hananya or Shameem, I don't remember. We had made a couple weeks ago, we had said, and we'd stopped doing it. I noticed that we once said, okay, this is our intention for the next
This
week.
is what we're going to do this week. Yeah.
We didn't follow it up, and we didn't do that again. So
No.
I wrote down the things that we said we were going to do. So for me, just to start, I said that I would be done with the two. There were 3 exercises I still had to do for the coaching thing, that I would be finished with the 2 exercises. Well, I did. And so my update is that not only did I finish that, but I have finished all of them. Everything's been turned in. So I am officially done with the course. Completed.
Yay.
Yay!
Congrats.
And, yes, thank you. And so I am officially done. So I did that. Shameem, you said you were going to write another chapter. So,
What is your writing update?
Yeah, so I have done some writing. I haven't excuse me, I haven't done a full chapter, but what I have done is I've been spurred on, sorry, from I've had a lot of new ideas for additions to the story. Some stuff that it was through our conversations of remembering some good stuff that would really, really suit the book. So I've added a lot. So I have written a couple of thousand words. I just haven't done a chapter. So
I think that's just as valuable, right?
Yeah,
me too.
I think so.
Because you're still in your first draft.
Yeah.
My first draft had all kinds of things. I'm like, and I go back and I do when I have notes to myself, I always do it in caps just because it makes it easy to see for me. And I had tons of that, which I thought was, I think that's real.
And a big chunk of it has to do with swearing.
Does it really?
Honest to God, yeah.
I love that.
Because my character obviously swears a lot as well, but she also uses big words like clandestine.
Obviously, she swears a lot.
Yes, because it's like it's
obviously
it's an echo of me, I suppose. But she also uses big words like clandestine, and she gets picked up on using the big words because she swears so much. And I think that led me down the path of looking for information that would substantiate my view on, you can have a good vocabulary and still swear have a big gutter mouth. So
I love it. So that's an interesting facet of your character.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it. It came to me last week, I think it was. So yeah.
I love that.
There you go. Continuously developing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Love that.
And Miss Hananya,
hey,
I think you have an update. When last we left you,
I know.
You said you were going to draft 3 short stories. So what happened?
I know. I've drafted 2. Not the third one.
Okay.
But the second one I drafted got submitted to an anthology and it's been accepted. So yay. And I just did the calculations. And by the time this episode goes live, it will already be published.
Oh, amazing.
You will be.
So I will be a published author.
Yeah. Isn't
that crazy?
Awesome. That is
so exciting.
Cool.
I know.
So cool.
Yeah.
So we
very excited.
Look for updates on that. That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah, that is really cool. And I'm a little bit jealous, but in a good way.
But in a supportive way.
Yeah.
But that is so awesome, Hananya, seriously, and really encouraging.
Yeah.
So good on you. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
So I think we were kind of diving more into our book, and we talked a lot about our main characters last time. So to kind of balance that out, what's interesting is to find out that let's talk about our antagonists. Shameem.
Me. I think I have talked about him in briefly, maybe in a couple of other episodes. So my antagonist is Will, and he is the boyfriend, soon to be ex-boyfriend of my protagonist, Tana. And Will is a charismatic, abusive narcissist. That's what he is. So,
well, what's his backstory a little bit? Like, what brought him to that place in your book? You know what I mean? Like,
oh, so this is set in the late 80s, where the word narcissist probably didn't even exist in people's day-to-day vocabulary. So I think he would just be classified as a good old-fashioned psycho. But he wasn't a psycho in the beginning. They met in a nightclub. He asked her to dance at the end of the night, like it used to be back in the day. Yep. And from Tana's perspective, Will is good looking. He's tall, he's blonde, he's handsome. She thinks that he's out of her league. And so she is just blinded by like really the love bombing that he starts to do in order to sort of entice her into his web. But she doesn't see it as love bombing. She just sees it as demonstrations that of how much he loves her. And then he starts to do little things to take her away from the people that she hangs out with, her friends and her family. And she thinks it's just more evidence that he must love her because he wants to spend all his time with her. He wants to know what she's doing all the time, where she's going. He doesn't want her to carry on working where she's working. He'd rather her get a job close to him. But she doesn't realize what's happening until, she's smack bang in the center of it, really.
It's like what's that adage? The frogs in the slowly boiling pot, kind of, right? Well, you know what I mean?
I know the fable.
You don't have that?
Yeah.
You don't
No.
I am like lost. I'm like, what is this?
It's a fable, isn't it? About
like that. I think, it's like these, it's maybe it is a fable. It's like the cook is in the kitchen. He puts the three frogs in a pot of water. So, right, and it's just water, so they're like playing around. But he turns on the burner, and it slowly heats up because it's heating slowly. The frogs don't realize it, and they get cooked
until it's like too late.
Until it's too late, and then they get cooked alive. I mean, which sounds horrible, but it's kind of like what you're saying, right? He starts out with the, flowery, I love you, whatever, nice, which is sort of like puts her in the pot of water and then turns on the burner.
Yeah, but he also, I don't know, I feel so wise now in my older years. We have labels, don't we? We have the labels for, when you're with somebody, male or female, or, who gaslights you, who kind of makes out that you're going crazy, that you're imagining things. When things are going wrong, it's always somebody else's fault. It's not their fault. So these are the kind of traits that he has, and he starts to exhibit until he starts to hit her a lot. And even then, she somehow thinks it's her fault. She made him do it because he's telling her that if she hadn't done X, then he wouldn't have needed to do what he did. So that's how it starts. Very quickly, it sort of turns into that. And then she's like full of shame because she knows deep down that it's wrong, but she doesn't want to admit it to anybody. And that's when the cycle really starts to kick in.
And what is his goal? Like, what, do we know what?
Well,
and however you're comfortable talking about that.
Yeah, because we talked about it in the last one. So the book starts that she's lying on the concrete floor in the car park, having just been beaten up by him, and she breaks up with him, but really only because her family have found out about it. She can't hide it anymore. So his goal becomes, an obsession to get her back, regardless of what she thinks, and that's what starts off a new chain of events, really.
And that's how those guys act, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, more about control, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about power.
It's a question, because I don't know. But that's what I assume.
Yeah, it's about power and control, but also, narcissists. They want you to want them, to need them, even though they're mistreating you. And the more they mistreat you, the more they want you to want them. So it's like
so it's some weird thing in them. I mean, obviously, just to hit somebody and all that. I mean, there's wrong. But I mean, in terms of these narcissists, it's something in them that they feel like that's the only way they, I guess, feel, right? Is having another person on the string or something like.
I think they have a type, but from the outside, it's like we talked about last time when we talked. From the outside, the type of women they seem to attract are not your stereotypical I don't know, weak, not confident, not able to look after themselves, a lot of pretty strong, independent, kind of fearless women in some areas seem to attract this type of person. But equally, the narcissist has some secret power to single them out and know, which ones to choose. I think there are feelings involved, genuine feelings involved as well, but they're very skewed. So.
It's fascinating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, it's like a psychology 101 kind of.
Yeah, I almost wonder, like, if the narcissist in this scenario, right, picks out like someone that is very like kind and not selfish and just like kind of like giving, to the world as like it's a strong independent woman maybe, or like a strong independent person, but they might be like, you know, open and like, you know what I mean, what I'm trying to say, as like they're giving towards like the world, and they're like, you know, they want to see the best in people, and that's probably the person that they would pick, even if they're strong and independent.
Yeah, I think, you know? I think there's definitely a thread to that. But when they meet, he's been watching her all night basically in the nightclub, and she's just dancing and having fun with her friends. You know, she doesn't go out very often because she's too young to go out as well. So she's having the time of her life, and then, you know, doesn't think she's going to meet anybody, and then all of a sudden, you know, he pops up. In my mind, it's just like, you know, you just appear surrounded by, you know, remember the smoke you used to have in the dance floors back in the
right. Just like it's the 80s, right? It's like, it's totally that kind of visual.
Yeah, big hair, lots of backcombed, permed, curly hair. Yeah, polka dots, red stilettos. Yeah.
How long do they stay together? What's the timeline of your?
They're together about 8 months before it all kicks off. 8 months to a year before it all kicks off, because he's bought her a kitten, and they're just all methods to keep her with him, because she, you know, buy a kitten, so she wants to be there all the time because she wants to be with the kitten. It's just very manipulative behavior, really.
Wow, it's amazing. It must be, I mean, writing that story, I mean, what has that brought up in you? You know, it's fascinating. I mean, to get into his head. I get it. You know.
Well, I've been doing research, listening to a lot of narcissist type themed podcasts, reading a lot of research. And it's just amazing to me how the MO doesn't change, whether it's, you know, 1980, 1970, 1960, 2020. Do you know what I mean? It's the same MO. But I think we're more educated. We've got access to more information. So, you know, there's loads of different types of narcissists. There's something like 6 or 7, which blew my mind when I was doing my research. But equally, there seems to be, you know, it's a high percentage chance that the narcissist is going to be male. There are female narcissists, of course, but predominantly women, men.
Now, because we know that this story is inspired by some things in your life.
Yeah,
I'm just curious because it's a fascinating character, this antagonist. By you, and I mean you, Shameem, going through and doing this research, has it brought up anything for you, or were there these aha moments? Like, how has it affected you in terms of like your memories of that time of your life, now that you're really kind of beginning to understand what kind of person that is?
Well, I don't know. So far, it's made me think of all the people that I was surrounded by. It's made me realize that at the time when I was going through something really similar, I didn't realize that the people, you know, my nearest and dearest, were actually trying to help me. I saw them as the opposite. I saw them as being people that were causing me, you know, pain, causing friction, making this situation worse.
Interesting.
Yeah, and now when I look back now, I just think, oh my God, why didn't I see this? It seems so obvious now, but I just think I didn't have the lived experiences, you know, that I do now. First serious boyfriend, you know, nothing much to compare it to, even though at the time I knew a ton of other women that were getting beaten up by, you know, husband. It was quite common back in the.
And you didn't relate it to your situation at all?
No, because I thought I was different. I just thought I was different to everybody else. I didn't see a pattern in me or a comparison in me compared to anybody else. But now I'm like, holy shit, is there similarities? Yeah.
That's so interesting.
You know? Yeah, and I see it as cathartic is what I just see it as, you know, I don't regret it, even though lots of horrible things happen. I don't regret anything, because I think sometimes you need some shitty experiences to you know, I would have never joined the army had that not happened. Yeah, so I know that for sure. I'd still be there doing God knows what. probably in prison. But that's another story. So we should change the subject.
I love that. Man, the writer's lives, right? Having a crazy life does add,
Yeah.
extra ideas to stories.
Unlimited ideas.
Yeah, it's like a big well of stuff. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you can pull different things out of it.
Definitely.
We interrupt our podcast here to take a moment to emphasize the importance of Shameem's story and real-life experiences.
Domestic violence is a threat the world over. If you or someone you know is the victim of domestic violence in Wales, you can reach out to Live Fear Free online or call 0808 8010 800. For elsewhere in the UK, check out the episode description below.
In Nederland kan je contact opnemen met Veilig Thuis door te bellen met 0800 2000. Als je direct in gevaar bent, bel dan 112. Voor meer informatie zal er een link naar de Rijksoverheid website in de afleveringsomschrijving te vinden zijn.
And in the US, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 800-799-7233.
And next time, we'll continue with Hananya and Leslie's Antagonist. But for now, let's go and get some coffee.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Be sure to follow Hananya at Hananya LeClaire on Instagram and YouTube. Follow Shameem on Instagram at rnpinkhamauthor. And Leslie on Instagram at ld.feral.writer. Or catch all of us on YouTube at 3 Writing Amigas. Until our next hangout, keep on writing.